Hi folks, Gary Van Warmerdam, pathwaytohappiness.com. We'll take a moment to talk about emotions, and we'll talk about particularly anger, but this applies to any emotion, and where they come from. In one of the exercises, Application of Power, we talk about how we tell ourselves, or give ourselves an excuse, which is usually a lie, about where emotions come from. That driver pissed me off, the copy machine's frustrated me, or this person did this and it made me sad or angry, and we attribute these emotions often to other people or other things outside of ourselves, and we don't take responsibility for that. And when we don't take responsibility, it's really not much chance that they'll change. So in that lesson I talk about why those things aren't really causing your emotions, and start to notice some things internally. I'm going to talk about two things internally that generate, I'd say, majority of the emotions that people feel, and the majority of the emotional reactions that people have come from their unconscious beliefs and repressed emotion. Those are emotions that we've had in our past that we're still holding and storing. We haven't properly released them and processed them out. And the unconscious beliefs, they generate a lot of emotion. So I'll tell you a little story. We'll give you an example of both of these and where these two factors, unconscious beliefs and repressed emotions, actually create those emotional experiences more often than what we think is causing the emotion. So in the story, I'm with at a retreat, and I'm with a number of people, and one day we go out and we do this very intensive heart-opening meditation. And not everybody's going to have the same experience for various reasons. So I checked in with people later in the day, how are they doing? And one gentleman in the evening after dinner, I checked in with him. He says, well, frankly, I'm angry. And I said, okay, what are you angry about? And so we had a chat, and he was really angry that when we went to go do this heart-opening meditation, that he really felt that I hadn't prepared them well. He said, you had us sitting on the ground, but the ground was really hard, and I was uncomfortable, so I tried to focus on the meditation, but I was distracted by my body. And I said, well, did you think about laying down? He says, well, there's too many people. I said, okay, and did you consider moving? He says, well, I thought it'd be over soon, and so I stayed, and I didn't want to distract anybody else, but as we sat there longer, I saw this was a longer deal, and he said, you didn't mention that, otherwise I might have changed it differently. I thought you really didn't prepare us and set us up very well. I said, well, okay, I can acknowledge that, and that feedback helps, and I can do better next time. But he was still angry about it. I said, okay, he's angry about what he missed out on a heart-opening meditation. I said, does that anger seem in proportion to what happened? And he's like, no. So he had the clarity on that. I said, okay. So I can hold some responsibility that I could have set it up better. I apologize for that. And I'll do better next time. But in the meantime, how about you do this? How about you see all the things that your mind is attributing this emotion to, and just suspend belief in that for a little while. And think maybe there's some other causes attributing to that. And so he did that, and we had a meditation that evening, and afterwards he's like, okay, I had this experience. I could see I had all this emotion, and I could see that I had these justifications for that emotion, but I could see them as separate, and my mind wanted to link them up, but I could see, well, that's what my mind wants to link to the emotion, but the emotion happened, and the mind giving the justifications and rationalizations, that's separate. And so in that conscious awareness state, he could see, as a witness observer, his emotions, and he could see the justification stories for why he had those emotions. Like, I don't have to believe those. And so we did some more work, and the next day or two, as he got deeper in touch with what are these emotions about, if they're not about this, is there something else? And he remembers the story of being about 9 years old, going to the hospital, getting lots of reassurance about this surgery. It's okay, you're going to be fine, this isn't going to hurt a bit, and his parents telling him this, and his doctor telling him this, hey, you're going to go to sleep, and you're going to have the surgery, you're going to wake up, everything's going to be fine. Okay, nothing to worry about. So, because he's in a hospital, he's a little sore oriented. So he wakes up out of surgery and he's in pain. Now, he's hurt and he's angry. And he's not only angry because he's like in a fight or flight mode because he's in pain and that's a natural emotional response. He's trying to protect himself from the pain, but he doesn't know what caused it. But he also knows the doctor lied to him, his parents lied to him. They betrayed him, they betrayed his trust. And he is angry at them. So this is 2 days after the meditation, a day after the meditation, and he's in touch with this memory. And he's like, I have so much rage for my parents and this doctor still. It's all stored up inside, it still has those stories, and it was buried down there in his unconscious as emotions that he had repressed. And so when he was angry at me about a heart opening meditation, that anger was out of proportion, and that's a signal that that emotion may be coming from something else. In this case, repressed memory of pain when he's 9 years old, being lied to, betrayed, hurt, feeling like he's tricked. Okay? And so that's the repressed emotion side that he didn't get to properly release and let go of. And if you look at the unconscious beliefs, he can also create at the same time. People will lie to you, don't trust them, they will hurt you, how do you trust? Don't believe what people say. He has all these unconscious beliefs about people he doesn't know, and people in authority will hurt him. And he has to be angry to protect himself. And so what does that mean? Being angry will protect me. People will hurt me and I have to protect myself. So these kinds of beliefs cause him not to trust people, not to make close connections with people, and will distance himself emotionally, disconnect, feel abandoned by his own distancing protection mechanism. And in that distance and abandonment, maybe build up a resentment and anger and not know that he's doing it, not know that he's creating this distance and separation from people because of these unconscious beliefs. And out of it, builds up an anger and a resentment about life. So, two sources of emotion now, the resentment and anger from unconscious beliefs, and the repressed emotion from 9 years old that he didn't get to release. So, let go of both of those, clear up your unconscious beliefs, release the repressed emotions. Now, you have a heart-opening meditation, you miss the mark, you're like, oh, I just missed the mark. It's not an anger, right? Somebody cut you off in traffic, like, oh, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm not angry at the other driver. So the emotional reactions and interpretations you can make are completely different. You don't have those unconscious beliefs and emotions driving you. So, two major causes of emotional reactions: repressed emotions, unconscious beliefs. You can get those addressed in the self-mastery course, in the releasing emotions exercise, and in the recapitulation series. Also helpful. Okay, hope that might explain some of the causes of why you feel the emotions you do. Actually, my book, Mind Works, I explain like 9 different reasons about where some of our emotions come from. And it's usually not the other person. Sometimes it is, but usually it's not. Gary Van Warmerdam, pathwaytohappiness.com. Hope that helps.